Invisible Cry of Agony, The Rise of Infertility in Young Africans. The topic of fertility is more or less a holy grail in many African homes. The accomplishment of being a mother or a father is a celebrated milestone for most African couples, as it connotes a normative achievement to every adult female or male destiny. Following the civil union between man and wife, the logical expectation is to have little ones constantly produced by the woman. However, in recent times, infertility has been of grave concern to African men and women due to the excruciating social stigma related to it. According to the study by Burma and Mgala in 2001, there has been a rather huge awareness of infertility as serious public health and social problem in Africa, with the devastating infertility effects amongst most African women. Ignorant of the extent of the consequences, emotional hardships, and meanings of infertility in varying African cultural context. However, there seems to be a high record of infertility in the south of sub-Saharan African countries, with some tribe attributed to having a rather unfortunate high infertility rates. Although infertility is an obscure demographic variable, the topic in rising among young African women who live in South Sub-Saharan Africa can be studied through the context of views of cultural constructions of well-being and gender. Resilient cultural values attached to traditional, religious-affiliated marriage and childbearing practices without a doubt delayed lower infertility due to early marriages. However, due to recent trends in the last decade, there has been a rather rapid rate of delayed marriage and the decline in fertility. As much as it is perceived to be a social stigma to many African women, it is a serious physiological concern, which is complicatedly tied to indigenous perceptions of voodoo, contraceptives, and alleged promiscuity in some cases. Secondary infertility, which is mostly as a result of delayed marriage, inadequate health care facilities and services, indecorous use of antibiotics, family planning methods, as well as the different trends in drug resistance. Even though the topic of adoption and artificial fertility treatments or options are frowned upon or welcomed coldly in rare cases, it is quite difficult to say for certain the number of adopted children adopted legally and illegally. In the same vein, the high cost of the treatment or process of adoption can be nerve-wracking to young couples, thereby promoting the unfortunate case of baby factories or black market for babies in some African countries. Thankfully, there has been an increased perception of artificial fertility treatments, i.e. assisted reproductive technologies such as IVF, even if the cultural silence and ignorance is gradually curbing out instances of being susceptible to quack treatments. For instance, in East, West and Southern Africa, with about $3,000 a couple can get an impeccable IVF treatment, increasing their chances of childbearing. However, not most couples can afford this luxury, making them settle for solutions from religious or traditional medicine options. Conclusively, there is a rather hasty need for the gynecology department of each African country hospitals to champion awareness related to the high rise in infertility, its scientific causes, as well as improve the acceptance of assisted reproductive systems in Africa generally. Published and brought to you by Juba Health. Visit www.jubahealth.com for further reading.